Okay. All right, it is Tuesday afternoon. We are all set up at Mason City. Max is out cleaning the trailer there. We arrived, got the horses settled, rode very quick, and had to ride in the indoor because it rained heavily this morning. Luckily, it was just drizzling when we were unloading, which is a treat. So rode in the indoor ring that they have here, walked over to the Grand Prix ring to show them it. We'll show tomorrow in some small classes. And yeah, so then we came back and finished setting up, and that'll be it for today. So yeah, so we walk into our banner with our bit box. We'll bring out chairs during the week. We come into our grooming stall with our tech cleaning station. Got our temperature cards. These guys trip over them every time. Temperature cards, let's see here, boot box, that's not a box, bag. And then we've got our little bridle holder, grooming stuff, fan for when we need it, box for the ring. And come out here, and we got our grooming stall with our ice boots, tack, those are the chairs we'll have later, grain, emergency supplies, etc. And our little board yet to be filled out. And then we've got Trevi. Hi, Trevi. And then his bag with blankets and wraps, little stall cards. And then we've got Lopi. Lopi, you want to say hi? Oh, of course he does, because he's a good boy. And his as well. And then our extra supplies. We'll put our fans up later. It's a bit chilly today, so we're going to leave that for another day. And they both have a stall and a half that Max put together and secured for us. So since we're here for 2 weeks, we decided to give him a little bit more. And that is our setup for Mason. So yeah, we will finish today after Max is done with the trailer, and we groom the horses quick and feed them grain, and then we'll go check in at the Airbnb, and then tomorrow we'll be here bright and early to do stalls, and then do some of our warm-up classes and to get ready for the week, and hopefully the rain holds off for us. All right, Wednesday morning, Max is grooming the horses, doing up their stalls, and I've got workstation set up. Sadie on alert. So the first class of the week that we did was a Open Meter 15 class on Wednesday, but I did not get a video of it. We were clear over fences, but had a bunch of time faults because I was using that to familiarize himself with the ring because we didn't get a chance to get in the ring beforehand. So I went very wide in places so he could see everything. But it was great. So this class that I have on video now is the welcome from Thursday, 8 a.m. Thursday, and it started off with a nice bending to a square oxer by the end gate there. This is a 5-stride up the outside, and everything's kind of riding and tracking pretty well so far. Didn't really count numbers to and from that oxer on the end. And then slipped inside here to try to account for time allowed to this flag oxer with a bending. I think it did 9 there to this green. I think we had walked it an 8 or a 9, but I just rode kind of whatever distance I saw come up. Slipped inside here. There wasn't really a track to go around. And then we had this combination, which rode up just fine. And then there was this interesting kind of like rollback-ish turn to the vertical, which rode up great. Everything was kind of riding right on step, which was really nice. A good kind of first intro, bigger class of the show. And then we make our way around the end here to this oxer. You can probably hear in the video, maybe not, that we rubbed it pretty hard, but he still jumped it kind of cute. Wide around this side here to finish up on this combination. And we were clear over fences, but unfortunately had one time fault, so we ended up third. All right, now it's Thursday morning. We just finished up with the welcome. They had it at 8 a.m. and we were slow and had one time fault, but ended up third. This was great. And then we already got Chubby put away for the morning. We got poultice and foot packed. Right, Whiskers? He's a good boy. He really is. And we will take those off this afternoon so that he can be without it for the evening. I just have to clean up my stuff still, and I will be done for the day. All right, it's 8:45-ish Thursday. fun of me. We're at night check. Claire's golfing. We pulled water and hay, and we took Trevor's wraps off since he has had them on for this morning, and we're leaving. Hi, Friday afternoon. Worked this morning. Got a lot of work done, which was great. Now I'm just waiting, hanging out with my Pippa in the Airbnb while we wait for Max to come pick me up because he went and did chores for us this morning. We're just going to ride in school this afternoon. No showing today. So yeah, pretty chill day. No walls can keep us apart. All right, it is Saturday, and today was a fairly uneventful day because we got rained out. Kind of see in the background there, it rained pretty much all day until about an hour or two ago, and now of course it's gorgeous, so hopefully it will dry out in time. They moved the Prix to, let's go around this puddle, Chubby, 8 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm hoping that the footing is dried out. They might move it later in the day. It's kind of a wait and see situation, but yeah, so a great day for Trevor. Right, buddy? Just hang out, do hand walks, and yeah. Okay, so because of weather on Saturday, they ended up hosting this class at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So with the light and the shine on the footing, it's a little dark, a little hard to see, but the footing ended up being fine. So that first line was a nice 5. He was a little spooky going into it, kind of looking into the crowd, but stayed paying attention. And then there was this nice bending 8 across the middle. You know, we're on 2 leads and a little confused which one he was going to because they're all kind of stacked right there, but still fine. Went wide here so I could really get straight to a combination down on the end. That's hard to see, but we just ended up rolling a rail, which was super disappointing. And then I hated this fence, not really the track or distance I wanted. And then this was an 8 stride, and I normally don't do numbers for bends that have that big of a bend in it, and I did, and then I ended up getting super long because I was stuck on my 8 number, which is why I don't do that. But he jumped it great. This was a nice drop on the end, and then we ended up doing like I think 12 steps between these 2 fences. Definitely didn't do a number there, that's so far away, but he jumped those both quite lovely, and then we came around the end to finish up on this last line coming home, which was a combination to a 6. So overall, he rode really well. I was happy with him, and the little bit of a sloppy footing. Just kind of disappointing for that rail in the end, especially since most people in the class went there, so we didn't end up with a great ribbon, but nonetheless. All right, well, they moved the Prix to 8 a.m. this morning, and I think we had a good round. It was okay. Just had a disappointing 4 faults, which is too bad, but he was still very good. So I got his legs cleaned off from the mud because it was a little sloppy. Base was good, but it was fine. So legs cleaned off. I'm gonna poultice and pack his feet. And then I gotta clean his boots so you can see just how muddy it was, and then tack as well, get that cleaned up. And then we're gonna be done for the day, and we'll try again next week. Okay, it's Tuesday morning. We are here cleaning stalls, beamering and hand walking, and then we'll come back later this afternoon after work to ride. Max left Claire and I to our own devices, and that was very brave of him. So yeah, we're holding down the fort. Max should be back this afternoon, and we'll get on with our week. All right, it is now Thursday, kind of mid-morning. Chubby and I had a lesson yesterday, and we're gonna get on to stretch our legs. The welcome was supposed to be at 8 a.m. this morning, but we got crazy rain last night. You can kind of see all the shavings behind me, water, a lot of water came through that door. So they moved it to this afternoon, and it's hot, so hopefully it'll be all dried up and nice. But for now, we're gonna go on a bit of a tech walk. All right, right, we are all tacked up for the welcome. Got all my clothes on, jacket, vest, just waiting to hear the next counts. We'll get on at the beginning of the meter 20s, so we're not up there too early. All right, so for the welcome class, unfortunately we had like a start then a stop because I thought they were starting the class earlier in the day than what they were doing, so it was my bad. But unfortunately, Trevor got all dressed up and out in the heat, and then had to go back. So not the best plan for kind of a cold horse, but it was fine. The course started out with a really nice like long line of two singles kind of together, which rode quite nice. We had this 6 stride across the middle. A little bit of a rub coming in, but he jumped the out really nice. Tried to be efficient around the end of the ring here. He didn't quite know which one he was going to when it came around the corner, so kind of had to jazz him up, and then kind of had to power out over that out of that combination there. And then this line ended up riding really nice. Did it in, I believe, a 7. I think there was maybe an 8 there, but or we walked an 8, but it rode up in a very, very nice 7. Came around, shoved him under this one a little bit, didn't quite love it, but it was okay. And then this bending 8 was kind of interesting. It wasn't like a normal-ish bending line, and that was completely my rail. We got there a little dull, and then I was looking to do that inside turn there to ship some time off, and not great. And then shoved him under that one, and then the line ended up being really weird. It was a nice 5, rode nice, and then he just was kind of distracted to these last 2 and a little bit through my hand, and kind of disappointing. But so I halted and did some flat work, ended up with 8 halts there. Still overall happy with the round, just fairly disappointed that it didn't quite end up going the way that we wanted to this time. But he's still a good boy and gets next for it. On Friday, I had Max get on and do a bit of a schooling ride with some raised trot poles and in draw reins to see if he couldn't try to engage his back and his core a little bit more. I normally do all the rides on Trevor, but every once in a while it's nice to have someone else get on and see what they feel. And Max is so strong and technical that he really helps put the pieces back together, especially when I get frustrated and disheartened. Trevor goes in a bit of an unconventional way sometimes, so it can be a little bit frustrating when I don't quite engage him in the way that I know that he can go around. So that was really helpful for him to kind of put some of the pieces back together that we needed. All right, next up is the Prix, and we finally had a class that had not been rained out or schedule changed or something funky. We made it by the end of the 2 weeks, but that is spring, summer in the Midwest. We started with this nice line coming home, this mid-states vertical, bending 6 to this oxer. And then we had kind of decided we were going to go around, but I saw enough people do this like little inside-ish turn to jump 3 across the middle, so I ended up doing that just to shave a few seconds off. Jumped that pretty okay. Didn't love his front end, but it was fine. Did not count my strides, finally, to this oxer, and he jumped it beautifully, came up right out of step. Galloped around the end of the ring, and then I was really pleased with how I did this across the middle. So it walked in an 8, but I saw enough people do 7. But the trick is that the next line, which is also a 7, is much shorter 7. So I was really proud of his adjustability to come back and sit up really tall for this vertical combination.
Keep going.
He had been looking in that corner for the past 2 weeks, so he also paid a lot of attention, which was great. And then this one, we had a hard rub on it, but we can rub them all day as long as they don't fall down. Gallop across the complete center of the ring to this vertical. Super happy I didn't pull down to it. I've gotten a lot better about that, which is pretty nice. Roll back here to this combination. Jump just the snot out of it. So good. Did not count because there were just so many tracks I could have fallen on myself too. So just found a number down to this one. And then, I was so stressed. Didn't want to have the last one down. Stayed efficient in my turn, and it showed up beautifully and jazzed the last one. And finally, we had a clear round. So I don't even really want to post this next part, but this is horse showing. You have an amazing round that I've been working for the past, the 2 weeks we were there, and then I come in all excited to do this jump off, and I biff it beyond all measure. This line, I landed, did not know where I was, kept going. Oh no! Completely missed. Just completely biffed it. And it's just so disappointing. Oh man, I was so mad at myself. We landed in a pile. I lost my spatial awareness and kept galloping to do a takeout that no longer was there, and it's just so mad. Anyway, so they fixed the fence, came around. He was a little backed off, as he very well should be. Jumped it amazing, and then I just kind of rode the rest of the jump off. I came with the intention of doing some good jump offs here, but obviously that was not the case for me. So the rest of the course, I just tried to make it as smooth and as confident building as possible for him. I felt so terrible. So had that fence, kind of a slick-ish turn to the green, came around, had the same rollback to this combination, that also rode up quite well. And I was pleased that I wasn't starting to like then pull to fences after I made that kind of major blunder. Would have galloped down to that one, ended up with a more conservative distance instead. I wanted to go inside this Gypsy Farms fence to the last one, but I elected to go around just to make it clean. I wasn't going to win anyway, and I wanted to be confident after that. So, unfortunate end. Still happy with that first round. Loaded up to get home, and then the boys had just the most lovely roll because we got home with a couple hours left in turnout for the day. So that's horse showing for you. Wasn't the 2 weeks that I wanted. Still had a great time. Trevor's still an amazing horse, and we have a long season left ahead of us.